I'm Professor David Lifshitz. Shalom from Israel. This presentation was prepared for the 40th WCET in Jerusalem. The meeting was expected to be a great event. Regretfully, it was cancelled due to the attack on Israeli civilians by Hamas terrorists. And yet, the story of endourology in Israel need to be told, and I was happy to receive the invitation from Dr. Preminger to record a presentation for the history section of the Endourological Society website. First, a short quiz. What's the connection between the Iron Dome air defense system, the USB flash drive, and alpha blockers? I assume you all guessed correctly that all these are a product of Israeli innovation. That was also the theme of the 40th WCET, Innovations, where it all began. It draws inspiration from Jerusalem's extraordinary historical role as a birthplace of great ideas. The spirit of innovation still exists. Innovation is one of Israel's most valuable natural resources, and currently there are 1,800 life science companies active in Israel. The Israeli contribution to endourology showcases the evolution of the startup nation. It can be described in three phases: the inflow of knowledge to the new state, research and development, and finally, the export of knowledge. 75 years ago, with limited resources, Israel relied on the individuals trained abroad who brought knowledge with them. Over time, institutions were established, fostering research and development, leading to Israel's ability to contribute knowledge to the world today. There were many Israeli individuals that contributed significantly to the field of urology and endourology. Let me introduce you to some of them. Professor Marco Kane trained in England and already in the 50s was one of the pioneers of the nascent field of urodynamics. However, it was following his immigration to Israel to become the chairman of urology in Hadassah Medical Center that his breakthrough research about the role of adrenergic system in micturition disorders led to the development of alpha blockers. This is his review from 1977. In the 50th anniversary of European urology, Christopher Chappell wrote an editorial commenting on this 1977 review, calling it a landmark paper, and Professor Kane the pioneer of pharmacotherapy for lower urinary tract symptom LUTS, suggestive of benign prostatic outlet obstruction. Professor Ciro Servadio, seen here as the president of the 13th World Congress of Endourology in Jerusalem almost 30 years ago, was born in Italy, where he started his medical studies but graduated from the newly formed medical school in the Hebrew University. Following the search for minimally invasive treatment options for BPH, Servadio, together with scientists from the Weizmann Institute and Israeli industry, was one of the pioneers of transurethral microwave thermotherapy. This work inspired further research together with a group from Italy as to the role of microwave heating as a means to optimize the results of mitomycin instillation for non-muscle invasive bladder cancer. All the R&D work for Synergo, the current application modality, is done in Israel. Servadio also contributed to the area of shockwave lithotripsy. He was involved with Israeli companies such as Medispec and Direx in the development of affordable, compact, and mobile lithotripters. These companies are still producing modern and efficient lithotripters today. Continuing with ESWAL, I guess only a few of you know that the first paper describing the improved fragmentation in vitro with slower repetition rate, a common practice today, was published by Professor Greenstein from Tel Aviv Medical Center. And finally, it was Professor Vardi from Rambam Hospital in Haifa who first described the utilization of low-intensity shockwave therapy as a potential treatment for erectile dysfunction. In the last 30 years, Israel has developed into a thriving hub for research and development, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Here are some examples of the multiple companies in the field, and let me mention some of them. The first high-power laser was initially developed by Coherent, a US-based company. In 2001, a growing Israeli company from Yokneam in the north of Israel took over and became Luminis. Luminis played a pivotal role in facilitating the widespread distribution of high-power lasers. Luminis also had an important role in developing the use of laser pulse modulation and introduced MOSES, a pulse delivery technology that improved energy transmission. In 2004, a small startup company began investigating the potential use of an interesting material, the RT gel, that exists as a liquid at lower temperatures and converts to gel form at body temperature. These unique features were utilized to increase the dwell time and exposure of an active drug and eventually led to the approval of gel-mito as the first therapy approved to treat low-grade upper tract urothelial cancer. In the beginning of the new millennia, another Israeli startup company, Symbionics, launched the first simulator designed for endourology, the Euromento. This was the first computerized system that allowed lifelike rigid and flexible ureteroscopy under endoscopic and fluoroscopic control. Soon the use of simulators proved to be not only a lot of fun for the residents, but also an effective training tool, shortening the learning curve in complex endoscopic procedures and improving safety. The endourology community in Israel is now strong and thriving. Most of the endourology directors are graduates of Endourology Society fellowship programs. And more importantly, in the last decade, 4 Endourology Society fellowship programs opened in Israel, 2 in Jerusalem and 2 in Tel Aviv. Endourology fellows are now coming from all over the world to the Israeli programs. Our fellowship graduates from abroad and from Israel help to improve and further disseminate endourology skills and knowledge. Thus, the cycle of knowledge has come full circle but continues to evolve. The medical public sector, in conjunction with the industry and research institutes, forms the distinct Israeli ecosystem fostering ingenuity. Let me finish with the words of Theodor Herzl, the visionary leader of modern Israel. Dream and deeds are not as different as many think. All the deeds of men are dreams at first and become dreams in the end. Thank you.